Well, first off, I want to make sure we thank the Academy Sports and Outdoor Bowl, Texas Bowl. I thought it's been an outstanding week, and I'm happy we won. But life, life not life changing, but life altering, life happy moments for our players, for their families, for our kids and our families. So I think it's been a great week. I want to thank the Texans. I want to thank all the people of Houston. Maybe means a little bit more to us doing it probably here in the state where family and friends could be here. Thought our crowd today was awesome, and we very much appreciate them for that. I thought today was a hard-fought game, came down to the end. There are stories in there that you couldn't imagine. John Mayer kicking his first ever play, and he's got to go out and kick a couple field goals. Isaac Powers, first ever play, and he's got to kick it from an inch from the goal line, and he crushes it. And that's just two guys, but that's, to me, emblematic of the grit of our team, the toughness of our team, and the never say die attitude from our senior class all the way down to the freshmen that just walked onto the program. So proud of our guys. I'm very grateful for the bowl. A lot of respect to Villanova, Coach Mason. I just saw their running back out there. Unbelievable performance by him. That was a good football game. And hopefully our seniors leave feeling like they've left a legacy, and hopefully our young players build off of it as we move into the future. So I'm very proud to be here right now.
That's for Matt. John Warner, Waco Trib. You guys showed a whole lot of resilience all night, and it was pretty much needed in this kind of game, wasn't it? As back and forth as it was.
Yeah, as I told our guys, would we have won it in any other way? The way our season's gone, the way we battled back, we didn't want it to be easy, and that was a great football game. And at the same time, who are we to think a team that, they lost to Notre Dame 21-17. They beat Tennessee for the third straight year. They won 3 of their last 4. They play in the SEC. That's a real football team. And they're gonna fight and battle to the end. And I was proud of our guys for fighting and battling to the end. Even when we dropped that last interception on third down, to go out and get the stop on fourth down, I thought was huge. And so many different guys stepping up. And that's, that was what was fun about it for me watching it. Charlie, hits Trestan for a touchdown. He hits Marcus for a touchdown. It's, Marcus is a guy that does his job and plays hard and plays well, and starts the year as a walk-on. He finishes it with the game-winning touchdown. I mean, that's kind of, to me, that's really kind of who our guys are.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Charlie, kind of a two-part question here. A, how does that hat feel? And and B, other coach mentioned that he felt like you were the difference in the game with the way you were able to both run and pass for first downs and big plays. Was that just you kind of playing your game, or were the things that you saw on film that you guys took advantage of today?
I think it was really the other 10 guys on the offense. The offensive line was blocking outstanding. I threw a few passes that were probably 6 or 7 yards down the field that went for 50. So that's all the receivers right there. So I'm just proud of those guys that were making plays all night.
Coach had at least 5 fourth down conversions, going 4 and 4. Some of them short yardage, but the 4th and 13th not short yardage. You talk about that for a second?
Yeah, the 4th and 1 was a long one, and we did that against Texas Tech. We went for a 4th and 1 on our own 25. And we did a 4th and 1 again. I mean, you're going to look back. I think Charlie's been one of the great sneak quarterbacks of all time this year. It might sound silly, but it's been so good for us. The pass to Denzel, was really hit. I'd say this was Charlie's football IQ, because it was a high-low where there's a guy at like 6 yards and a guy at 16, and he knew he really couldn't throw it to the guy at 6 yards, and he found a way to make that throw. And I thought what Charlie said. I thought our offensive line did a really nice job. So, we were there to win. We weren't going to come out and be safe. We were going to push the ball down the field, go for it on 4th down, and have some fun. And we thought the best way to win the game was just keep possession of the ball, especially when they started moving it pretty well.
Over here, Shahan J. Raja, TexasFootball.com. Coach, 1 year ago, obviously, you guys go 1-11. So from that point last year, after that last game ends, to now, how much has this program and team grown, and how big is it to end the year with a bowl victory?
I asked them the other day, and I said it again to them before the game. I asked them to think about where they were a year ago. And, I think there's 2 things. Number one, mean, they did it with hard work. Like, you're always looking for a substitute. We're looking for this. We're looking for that. Like, they just did it with hard work. And even the team that played Duke early in the year, like that, I just told these guys the other day, I said, that team, I don't even remember that team. That team doesn't even exist. Like, they've just continued to evolve every week into a good team, battled through adversity. And so, they did it by working hard and working together. And then the second thing is, this game, as I said to them, this game was a gift. It wasn't promised to us. We got a 13th game. And, we're here because of all the gifts that we've been given, whether it's, gifts that the Lord gave us or our family and our coaches, or even in the wins and losses this year. Some of the losses were if you look at them, we learned a lot from them. We learned a lot from the TCU game. I learned a lot from the TCU game. We learned a lot from the Duke game. And so they're miserable when they happen, but if you're smart and you're tough and you're loyal to each other, you'll grow from the adversity. And so I wanted our guys to go out and take this game like a gift and learn from it. And I thought we did. Like, we battled through everything, no matter what happened. Even me with the officials a couple of times, some plays I was like, what is that? And I tried to flip back, which is really hard for me. But I tried to do that because I learned that, the Texas game. Like, don't complain, just play the next play. So I just think, it's been just this slow process. And the thing is that we want to be a program that's built on something and built on rock. And so I feel like our senior class last year, the senior class this year, and then the guys that are sitting next to me and many more like them, they're building the program on the right things in terms of the right lessons and toughness and resiliency and battling back and celebrating together, that it'll hopefully just continue from here.
Noah Torre, Baylor Lariat. Coach, Jalen Hurd was obviously not in the game tonight, and he was very special in the flats for you guys during this season. Can you talk about the adjustment period that you guys had to make sure that your receivers are still getting open in the flat?
We have great receivers, and it's really just a matter of quarterbacks, doing a great job of getting the ball to the right guys. And it was fun to have Jalen here. I appreciated what he did for us at Texas Tech. Had a hurt knee and played through it, and went and had surgery, and look forward to him going off to the NFL and representing Baylor with tremendous dignity and class in the NFL. But we have lots of good players, and we knew that Josh Fleeks and R.J. Sneed and Pooh Strickland and those guys would step up, and Denzel would step up, and we had a lot of guys do that. The backs, all the running backs had big plays tonight, so I thought it was an opportunity for a lot of our guys to maybe step in there and fill that role and build some momentum going into next season.
Nick Anazales, KC, and Coach, before you guys came in here, you gathered all the seniors, took a picture, with the bowl trophy. Those seniors, the last 4 or 5 years that they've been through, and for them to cap off their career with a win like this, what does that mean to those guys and for the guys going forward?
Well, I think at the risk of sounding corny, what I said to them is I don't think they won't recognize for a long time really what they did from last year to this year. They've been so in the moment, they've just kind of one day at a time. But not many people do what they've done. Not many people go from where they were, over the last couple of years and the changes and stuff. But they've done it. I'm just as proud of the fact that we had 24 college graduates out there tonight as I am that we won the game. And I said, you won't recognize it now, long after this game is over, but you'll remember the lessons that you taught to our young guys and the humility and the loyalty. And so I was just happy to see them have fun and smile and play and play one more game together, and they'll wake up tomorrow and the next part of their life starts. And for a lot of our young guys, they'll hopefully build off it. But I think the lesson that our seniors have taught is just to keep battling, stick around. So often guys quit, guys give up, guys transfer, they do all these things instead of just hanging in there, man. And the guys that hung in there, the Iras, the Gregs, the Platts, all those guys, Pat Lawrence, Black Marston, Josh Malin, so many more. They've accomplished a lot now, and that's a key lesson for, I think, our whole team.
Coach Bruce Geeson again, and it's for you, and also for the players. First half, you guys, they'd get a quick score. You guys have put together a nice drive, 7, 8, 9 play drive. Then 30 seconds later, they get a quick score. Now 7, 8, 9 play drive again. 30 seconds later, a quick score. The thought process was like, man, we need to lengthen these drives out to 14, 15 plays, or what's it? That was two different styles there. They were in the big plays, and you were doing what you needed to do on offense.
I think the thing I kept saying to the defense was, sometimes when those games happen, you start wondering, like, what's happening? The running back was getting us. He hurt us on the screen. He hurt us on 2 long runs. So I said to them, guys, stop worrying about the quarterback, stop worrying about everybody else, and let's worry about the running back and take him away. And again, I thought there was a sense of, like, not panic, but, like, just real excited. And that atmosphere was really, really loud and electric and dynamic, so I thought guys really wanted to play. So I thought we had to kind of get there at halftime and settle down. But I think the guys just kind of hung in there and played. What do you think, Trestan?
I mean, coach does a good job of telling us to pick up our defense when they're down. So if they go and score fast, we just got to go in and do our job and try to score again and match the score with the score. And I feel like we did a good job of doing that all night. And then the defense finally came up with a good stop, and we were able to put together another drive and run out the clock. So it's just our mindset.
That was well done.
Spot on. Good.
Seems you're smiling.
Coach, after the game at the podium, you looked like you were getting a little emotional. The players were emotional, getting excited, fired up. Why so much emotion? What brings about all that emotion for not only you but your players that were obviously really excited about getting that win?
Well, I think I'm in the concussion protocol right now because they hit me with the actual Gatorade thing. They didn't hit me with the Gatorade. No, they literally hit me with the orange thing hard. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But no, I was happy for them, man. I mean, it's like no one knows how hard we work, And I think coaches, players, everybody, I mean, I had no part in that offensive game plan. That was Jeff Nixon called an unbelievable game, and Glenn put together a great third down plan, and Frizz had the receivers playing well, and Sean Bell, and then George DeLeon was with the loss of Fran, George was able to go back on the field and coach again, and Joey McGuire and Phil Snow kept trying to search. I mean, proud of our coaches, proud of our players. So then when you see them all smiling and laughing and having fun and celebrating, when you end the year with a win, it's a big deal. And so, I really wanted that for them. So I was happy to see that. And then, I always go back to our families. Like my daughters come up there, my son, our coaches' kids. They sacrifice a great deal. They get to do a great deal too, though. It's not like woe is me, but they sacrifice a great deal, and I want them to celebrate it. And I want us all. I want all of Baylor. I want all of our Baylor parents and fans, and I want them all to have bragging rights tomorrow. I want them all to smile tonight and have fun. So, you sit back and think about how far you come, and seeing everyone happy is a nice thing.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Trestan, when they took the lead after the end zone interception, how big was that for you to just strike right back and take the lead? And how did that play open up?
It's just a simple play where I read the backer, and if the middle's open, I take it. And Charlie did a good job of throwing me away from the safety, and it was it enabled me to make a play. You know what I mean? I saw him flat-footed, so I knew I'd score. So it's just a good play to open up.
I think Craig had one. Go ahead, Craig.
Coach, over here, back here, Coach. In the first half, now we've been used to watching Baylor football being fast football, and in the first half, Vanderbilt got off with those 3 scores, hardly using any time on the clock. And I was wondering about the adjustments that you made in the locker room for the second half as you guys came out and seemed to be able to slow them down. And then, of course, Charlie and the offense then picked it up.
Yeah, I think the thing that we felt like, as we alluded to earlier, they were having fast drives, and we were having 7, 8, 9 play drives. And you could see some of their guys, were starting to get tired, starting to lay around, starting to, so we felt like, hey, we can continue to run it. Anytime we've run the ball over like 150 or 160, we've won the game. So I think we finished with 250, 260, 270 or something at the end of the game. So I just think we felt like, hey, we'll be able to, because they're scoring so fast and we're having longer drives, maybe that'll, wear them down eventually. Because you don't win the game in the first, second, or third quarter. You win it in the fourth quarter, and that's where we wanted to win it. And I thought Phil went to a 3-down front in the fourth quarter at the end and really turned the pass rushers loose. And the big key turnover. So I thought the defense was constantly searching, trying to find some things to slow them down, and eventually did.
Craig Smoke, ESPN Central Texas for Charlie and Trestan. It was about this time 2 years ago that both of you guys took a leap of faith and committed and ended up signing with this coaching staff, not really knowing what you were in store for, but now to be here 2 years later, how gratifying is this? It's not the end of your journey, obviously, but how gratifying is this to see the progress you guys have made over the course of 2 years? And is this what you expected it to be like?
Obviously, it feels a lot better to be in this position than kind of the position we were in last year. So, I think it just says a lot about our team, just the way we've bounced back every single week. And I'm just really happy that, I ended up here at Baylor.
Obviously, I believe we made the right choice, to play for Coach Rhule and to play with the brotherhood that we have. It's just amazing to do this together because we all have to come together and face the world. And I feel like we just do a good job of playing together, so I believe we made a great choice.